You know the feeling. You're stuck in a conversation, you've got this smile plastered on your face, but inside, your brain is just screaming, please, please, just let this end. But what if the secret to freedom isn't about finding the perfect thing to say, but finding the power and saying nothing at all?
Because, let's be honest, we've all been sold a lie. This idea that to be polite, to be liked, you have to always have an answer, you always have to engage, you have to keep the conversational ball in the air no matter what. That's not a social skill. It's a prison. You can feel that, right? That internal panic track playing on a loop. Your social battery is blinking red, your mind is just replaying every dumb thing you said. You're physically there, but you're gone. You're just a ghost in the machine, and you're leaking energy with every single forced nod. See, we've been taught to believe that our constant, undivided attention is the price of admission for social acceptance. We do these exhausting little performances just to avoid a few seconds of silence. But while we're doing that, we're literally handing over the controls to our own mind, letting someone else's drama or their gossip or their anxiety become our own. This isn't politeness, it's you being slowly eaten alive. This compulsive need to have a take on everything, to fill every single empty space with noise, it doesn't make you a good person, it just makes you exhausted. It's a massive energy leak in your life, and it is time to plug it.
Now, what's so fascinating is that when you look at people who are truly great in social settings, there are really two types. One is all about performance, but the other is about power. And only one of them is actually sustainable for the rest of us.
So on one hand, you've got the stage magician. They are dazzling, they're charismatic, they're juggling 5 conversations at once. They live to be the center of attention. It's an amazing show, but man, it is draining. Then you have the silent master. Their power isn't in keeping the show going, it's in knowing the exact moment to end it. They don't protect the conversation, they protect their own peace. Trying to be the magician is just going to burn you out. But becoming the master, now that is a skill you can actually build. So let's totally reframe this whole idea. Not responding isn't rude. It's not some kind of social failure. It is a high-level strategic choice. It's the conscious decision to build a fortress around your own focus and just refuse to let all the noise of the world break through. I want you to think of it like you're installing a new piece of software in your brain called the energy filter. Its only job is to catch all the pointless chatter, the emotional dumping, and the nosy questions that fly at you all day, and just hit delete. It stops their static from becoming your problem. Okay, so how do we actually build this thing? Look, this isn't about flipping a switch and becoming a new person overnight. This is a training program. It's just 3 simple, really powerful steps to take back control. We're gonna start in the shallow end, with the low-stakes stuff. Then we're gonna move up to being fearlessly direct. And finally, you'll learn how to use the most powerful tool in the entire kit, strategic silence. All right, step 1, the training ground. You're in a taxi, you're at the hairdresser, and here it comes, the small talk engine fires up. Instead of just gritting your teeth and playing along, you just take a breath and you say, calmly and kindly, I'm actually a little tired today. I'm just gonna rest my eyes for a bit if that's okay. No big apology, no drama. You're just taking care of yourself. I'm telling you, the first time you do this, your brain is going to scream at you. This is so rude. You're being rude. But I promise you, it's not. The world won't end. By the 3rd time, it feels a lot less weird. And by the 10th time, it just feels like freedom. A quiet little act of self-respect.
Okay, time to level up. You're with that acquaintance who just loves to dive into office gossip or complain about something you have zero interest in. You feel that familiar little cringe inside, the one that says, oh boy, here we go again. This time, you don't just nod, you stop it in its tracks.
And here is the absolute key. The magic phrase is, I don't want to talk about this. That's it. That's the whole sentence. You do not add because or I'm sorry but. Excuses just give them something to push back on. The direct statement itself is a boundary, they'll feel it, and 99% of the time they'll respect it.
And now for the master level. This is for that person who just doesn't get the hint. The one who asks those really invasive questions about your money, your relationships, your personal choices. After you've tried to change the subject and they just push right through, you deploy the ultimate conversational weapon. You just go quiet. You stop talking. You meet their eyes for just a second, and then maybe you look away at your drink. You let the silence get big and fill the space between you. This demonstrates a beautiful law of social physics. The person who creates the awkwardness is always the most desperate to fix it. You're not being rude. You are simply handing the awkwardness back to its rightful owner. Once these steps start to become second nature, something really incredible happens. It's not just your conversations that change, your whole reality starts to shift, because you've finally built your energy shield.
And look, this isn't some cute little life hack. This is energy conservation. And it's probably one of the most important practices you can develop in your adult life. It's the art of consciously deciding what gets to come into your world and what just bounces right off the shield.
And the payoffs are huge. That mental chatter, the constant replaying of conversations, it just fades away. People who feed on drama, they learn that your diner's closed and they find somewhere else to eat. And all of a sudden, you have all this extra energy for your work, for your passions, for the people you actually want to connect with. And the craziest thing happens, people start to respect you more because they can sense that your time and your attention aren't cheap. And really, this is the heart of it. It's about letting go of the need to be seen as a nice person. So often, being nice is just a trap that makes us abandon ourselves. We should aim for something better. Aim to be a respected person. Someone whose boundaries are quiet, but they are made of steel. Someone whose peace is just not up for debate.
So I'll just leave you with this one thought. If you could take back all the energy you spend performing and worrying and getting sucked into conversations that don't matter, who would you finally have the energy to become?
Subscribe for daily wisdom.